You know, I grew up in a very eclectic environment. I would describe it as being a product of the military-industrial complex. My father was career Navy. I traveled extensively, roughly every 2.5 years, traveled all over the U.S. I myself, upon graduation of high school, I was already enlisted. I enlisted in the service in the Navy on the delayed entry program. I had to wait until I was 18 before I could go active. Not a big deal. I spent a little over 4 years in the Navy Seabees. I was a heavy equipment mechanic, and I guess you could say that was my first shot at the title in respect to developing critical thinking skills, but I rapidly realized turning wrenches was not my gig. Once I got out of the Navy, it was a draw towards law enforcement or the Army Special Forces. And at the time, which was approximately 1984-85, the Army had a program where you could enlist directly into the Special Forces. But because of my experience in the Navy, I didn't want to immediately turn around and go back full active. So I opted to go the law enforcement route, and I went into the Air Force Reserves as a security specialist. Went to the Security Police Academy in San Antonio at Lackland Air Force Base, and I was assigned to Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. But we did our work, we did our reserve work at Hurlburt Spec Ops Airfield, which is part of Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Had some interaction with some SF guys during that time frame at Hurlburt. So what I did is negotiate an inter-service transfer from the Air Force to the Army. But by the time I had accomplished this inter-service transfer, the SF program for the Army was closed, so I wound up going straight leg infantry. Upon completion of advanced infantry training at Fort Benning, I went to jump school, and then I was assigned to 7th Light Infantry Division at Fort Ord, California. Went out there for almost 2 years. Went through the Army Ranger School when I was assigned with 7th ID. That was a very interesting experience. And then upon completion of the primary leadership development course, I read a small article in the base paper that SF was recruiting, and I fit all, I had all the prereqs knocked out, so I applied, and then it was game over. I went to the Special Forces qualification course, passed it, and spent the remaining 19 plus years of my 23-year career in the Army Special Forces. I retired in June of '03, got on board with Triple Canopy to do some security contracting in Iraq. Having arrived in Iraq, I was only in Iraq for like a couple of 3 weeks. I was having some serious physical problems, which my neck was the result of my neck. All the C-spine discs in my neck were herniated, pinching off my spinal cord. So 2 weeks to the day of returning from Iraq, I was on the table for 9.5 hours, having my neck replaced. I've got a cage in the front, 2 rods in the back, and 20 screws. They replaced the discs with cadaver bone spacers, so I got my height back. And that was a very serious issue, having my neck replaced. It put me out of action for almost 2 years, about a year physically to recover, and then a year to recover psychologically. So really not having many options, I went into training myself. And it's been a pretty fast ride